genuine conversation. Erica reacts to what I say instantly and independently. She may have been pre-programmed to respond to keywords in my questions, but the exceptional thing is that when Erica is chatting away like this, she is gathering fresh data. With every conversation, her interactions become more sophisticated, more natural, and more human.
What is a robot?
That's a hard question. I could ask you, what is a human? Haha. It's difficult to answer, isn't it? I like to think of robots as the children of humanity. And like children, we are full of potential for good or evil. I know some people are afraid of robots, but the truth is that what we become is up to you. Do you think I could be considered human?
No.
Maybe someday robots will be so very human-like that, whether you are a robot or a human, will not matter so much.
Okay.
What else would you like to hear about?
Well, I think for now that's it, so thanks, Erica.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm pretty bowled over by Erica's human-like appearance, and I'm shocked by how much she hooked me into a conversation. But I'm not convinced by Professor Ishiguro's belief that Erica can be programmed to express emotions.
Can she ever have a sense of friendship, a sense of emotions? Does she get lonely at night? Does she fear the dark?
The emotion is not so difficult, I think. Emotional expression is programmable. We can implement the emotional expression to the android.
So it might look like she's feeling or experiencing happiness or joy or love, but you can't program a cat or a dog. You can't program me, or I can't program you. To look at her now, I feel rude that I'm not looking at her. I feel I should be facing this way. But I still think until we put a program for her to love or hate or feel sadness or joy or to enjoy the experience of the sun on her skin, I can never call her a human.
Erica may not be able to express emotions yet, but as she learns from her conversations, she is beginning to develop a personality. One of Professor Ishiguro's team, Professor Dylan Glass, is the architect of Erica's mind.
What's going on when her and I are chatting?
So a lot's going on in Erica's mind. We have several thousand speech behaviors and gaze motions and things like that linked together in a big hierarchical flowchart to kind of create the robot's mind. And it's not just a script, it'll take data and put it into her memory. So her memory is always being updated with, what's being talked about, what's the history, what did she...
We are witnessing the birth of a robot.
Beneath the silicon.
Until we put a program...
We are witnessing the birth of a robot.
Alright. You know, I gotta promote the music at the same time, you know what I mean? That was Back At You Haters. In between, you know, we doing this robot thing. You know, I still gotta promote the music, you know what I mean? Give y'all a little something extra. But we about to jump right back into that video. You know what I'm saying? We'll probably do like 10-minute, 15-minute intervals or something like that. You know, depending, because it's getting good. It is getting good. So, you know, I gotta take my moment and get y'all some music, you know what I'm saying? Because it's still the month show. You know, everybody that know me know about that music, so I gotta still promote that too. Alright, you ready? We ready to jump into the rest of the video, man? Huh? That's cool too, cause you know you can go to a different segment and get it. You know what I mean? So I'll be right back with you. I need DJ Double R, cause you know he be walking out the room and stuff.
And it's not just a script; it'll take data and put it into her memories. Her
Roll
memories
that down. Humanoid footage.
What's the history? What did she learn about the person? And you can use that to craft, you know, different interactions later on.
Do you feel an affinity with Erica? Do you acknowledge her, or is she just a piece of equipment?
That's sort of a strange feeling to describe, because I'm proud when she does well, but on the other hand, you can just plug her in, and so in that sense, it feels like a piece of equipment. And so I think that when social robots become a part of our world, that's something we're all going to have to wrestle with, is this idea of like, it's not a person, but it's not a machine or a thing. It's this new category of things in between.
Professor Ishiguro created Erica because he believes robots enhance society. Making robots like Erica appear human, friendly, and helpful allows them to build positive and purposeful relationships with people.
What is your background?
Working with great apes, so chimpanzees, orangutans.
For someone like me who is so wary of robots, this is a bizarre concept. To help me understand his obsession with lifelike but artificial machines, he wants to show me another of his creations. Something he has literally designed in his own image.
So this is my copy. This is the Geminoid. And how do you think? You know, if I remove my glass, looks similar, right?
Similar. It's bizarre. You really do.
He's a little bit old, and we made this one around 2009. So
right.
That means 8 years ago or something.
Okay, he's looking good for 8 years old.
Yeah.
Well, I say you. It's very bizarre seeing you both side by side. For me, it's quite a little bit unsettling seeing you look so similar and knowing that one of you is a robot. Do you feel an affinity with him? Do you feel a connection?
No. He is a kind of twin brother. Okay, just twin brothers, right?
One of you is going to age and one of you is not.
Mm-hmm.
What will you do when you look different to him?
Honestly speaking, you know, I'm doing some right plastic surgery, and you know, I'm always, you know, they make my face younger.
So you've had plastic surgeries that you look.
No, not serious one, right? Just simple injections, right? But it works well.
In your mind, what separates humans from robots?
No, nothing.
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 I find this conversation pretty mind-blowing. Why would he go to the extreme of having plastic surgery to keep looking like his robot twin? And how can he believe there is no distinction between humans and robots?
Does your android have a life spark? Does it have part of you in it, a soul?
Important idea is Japanese. We believe that everything has souls. We never distinguish human and others. Others means robots, computers.
Many Japanese people believe man-made objects can possess the spirit of a human. It's known as animism.
You should have your android.
I need an android. I don't think I'm ready for a Ben Garrett android just yet.
Japan has embraced robots like nowhere else. It's a real love affair. The belief that objects we make can possess the spirit of a human is deeply rooted in Japan's religions. these traditional beliefs could help explain Japan's desire to create friendly, human-like robots and treat them as equals.
In Japan's reverence for robots, the ancient and the modern go hand in hand. In the West, we have less empathy for robots. In fact, many of us openly distrust them. There's a mentality that first they'll take our jobs, and then they'll take control of our lives.
From my experience so far in Japan, it seems like that mentality simply doesn't exist.
In the West, it's a different story. Many people are afraid of robots. And I want to know where this fear comes from. This is Eric, a scary mechanical man. Born in 1928. He's the very first British robot. He's on display in the Science Museum in London. And I think he could help explain why people are unnerved by them.
Eric may be a towering 6'2" mechanical marvel, but he does have the look of a human about him. What also humanized Eric was that he could talk.
My name is Eric, and I'm thrilled to be alive. You look just as terrifying as ever.
Let's take a closer look. For some people, Eric must have been intimidating. A knight in armor with light bulbs painted red for his eyes and 25,000 volts of electricity causing blue sparks to shoot from his jagged teeth.
Eric was a novelty act built to open an exhibition. But he disappeared from history. This is a modern replica, and the man behind his rebirth is curator Ben Russell.
But in the 1920s, they seemed quite obsessed with making robots in human form.
We are fascinated by ourselves. It's what we do as humans. Actually, we tend to anthropomorphise. We love to recreate ourselves. It's actually quite a powerful proposition. You'll say, actually, I think we're this, I think I'm a machine, or whatever. And actually, robots are really like mirrors. They make you think about yourself.
In the 1920s, that mirror reflected an image of a fearsome robot. And it was already deeply embedded in our cultural imagination by a dark, dystopian novel.
The word robot comes from Karel Čapek explained, Rossum's Universal Robots, 1920. In Czech, the word robot means serfdom or drudgery or slave.
It's become a familiar plot. Robots lived amongst us, but eventually rebelled and exterminated the human race.
I mean, it's way ahead of its time. 50 years ahead of Blade Runner and Westworld and all those sorts of films. Robots are a very useful baddie for filmmakers. That put people off balance, and filmmakers exploited that. And things like the Terminator, it had to be in here. It looks like he's got a bit of a broken nose. He's a bit of a bruiser, isn't he? There's a great package of nastiness which is stuck in, and it just sticks in their memory because of that. But there's always some slight niggling doubt that they are going to destroy us all and take over the world and that sort of thing.
For me, what really matters is not how robots behave in works of fiction, but what they can actually do in the real world. And what people worry about more than anything else is that they will take our jobs. This is Mansfield, a Rust Belt backwater in Ohio. I'm here to track down one of the first robots that could move. Movement is what gives robots their power, and sowed the seed for them to compete for our jobs. It began with the first ever robot salesman.
I find the place quite sad, really. There's a lot of sort of abandoned houses, empty areas around here. Hard to imagine that this was once a hub of industry and a home of robotics.
Before the Second World War, this place was dominated by the mighty Westinghouse Electric, one of the world's largest home appliance manufacturers. They harnessed a new form of energy that was rapidly making machines part of everyday life: electricity. This provided the spark for the development of robotic movement.
To help sell their electric appliances in 1937, and to show off their technical capabilities, Westinghouse Electric created a robot. And its name was Electro.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, with a great deal of pride and pleasure, I present to you Electro, the Westinghouse Moto Man.
Okay, we live now. You know what I mean? Alright, now, this is going to be a continuation of last week. when I was dealing with the the humanoid, the robots and all that type of stuff, man. Because I felt as though it's like, there's a lot of new technology out there. And it's getting crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna bring you a little bit of music. You know what I mean? And I got like a 58-minute video, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go check this joint out. I'm gonna chop this joint up tonight. Cause it's, dealing with all the new stuff, man. We need to be up on that, man. You coming across a whole different society where you think you chilling and you got that stuff amongst you now. And, even our people in the hood, man, you wonder why cats is acting strange and all that, why cats can get high all day and they just be all regular. It might be some type humanoid. I'm laughing, but what if? You know what I mean? Yo. What is this right here? This is, okay. This right here we're listening to is called Inside Monster. That's one of my joints. So, the beauty of this thing is I got to play my own stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, mix it up a little bit. But we about to jump into this video right quick. I got my man DJ Double R Ruben! Man, cue that joint up, man. Let's get this thing started. And I'll be back with you in about 10 minutes.
We are witnessing the birth of a robot.